Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran. I'm here with a beautiful, lovely, sometimes she's been known to make this here man a sandwich wife of mine, light of my life, Jan Zealand.
Hi.
And today's the day we're here to talk a little bit more about Decimated DC, something we go over time and time again in this channel as they have no more offices. So here we go. So I still have contacts within the industry, and I talked about previously in another video about how like things aren't looking too good as this Discovery merger shakes up. Please look down below, hit like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, follow this channel as we go down, watch DC. Get that popcorn ready as DC Comics is going to end up in 2022 not looking like it did going into 2022. Okay, by the end of this year, this company will look like something completely different, DC Comics, or it will just flat out be licensed out. Only time will tell. DC Comics moving offices yet again to a hot desk. That's kind of like is that like a hot pocket? I mean, what's a hot desk?
A hot desk is pretty much this model where nobody has their own desk. You just go around, and if there's an empty desk, you just say mine, and you place your stuff on it, and you work on it for the day. And the desk could be someone else's the next day. So pretty much you can't personalize your desk, you can't personalize your workspace.
Yeah,
and from what I understand, especially since I studied some business stuff, this is great for the company because they don't have to spend on dedicated tables for every single person. Only someone who needs to sit down can get the desk. But what that means is that you don't get to personalize your workspace. You don't feel a commitment to the company then because it's like, whatever, it's just not a desk.
Yeah, you have to fight for your stationery with other DC staffers. You have to, you can't carve your initials in the desk, can't personalize your desk. So before we get into it, I do want to mention a little bit of a backstory here. When DC Comics, Warner Brothers came in on DC Comics and the Harry Potter money had dried up, they're like, oh, don't worry, investors. We have the history, the lush history, the piggy bank, which is the DC Comics superheroes that we're able to cash open and make up for the lack of Harry Potter movies. And this is something that DC Comics, Warner Brothers Warner Brothers executives said with pride to the investors, don't worry, we got DC superheroes to crack open. And what did they do? They moved everybody from Burbank. That's when we saw Paul Levitz leave and things like that because he wasn't moving with the company. And he said, DC Comics is over. They're coming in. Hollywood's coming in on this, boys. Time, it's over. It's only a matter of time. Dan Didio and certain staffers from DC Comics made the trek from the East Coast all the way to the West Coast, and even some senior editors like Shelley Bond and people made that trek and moved and uprooted their whole lives to the West Coast just to up and get fired once they got there or let go and downsized. Vertigo got downsized. A lot of things got downsized. And this is what you're going to see whenever companies come in on a smaller company is every time it changes hands, every hand that changes and they grab DC Comics and now it's Discovery. It was AT&T. Now it's Discovery. You are going to see the first thing on the agenda is to downsize. It's to cut some cost, cut off a little bit of fat. But see, here's the thing. We went through what, 2-3 DC bloodbaths last year.
Yeah.
3. And you can only cut to the bone so much. Daniel Cherry came in and left. He made some changes, moved the furniture around. Some people on YouTube, like Perch, will say he really cared about comics. He just didn't get a chance. I call bullshit as he works now at Adidas. He asked for a recommendation from me. I was like, anything I can do to get your ass out of DC Comics. I thought they would be better off for this, but it still looks like they're downsizing. They're downsizing with their new venture. I like how they show an old photo here of Dan and Jim probably back at the offices that now they're getting kicked out of. These are the future. The past looks brighter than the future. That's all I'm saying. So what do we got here? Do you think they're going to pull the Batman t-shirts off their staffers now? Like they're going to ask for their t-shirts back?
They may just want the opposite. They may make everyone wear them and say, so we can identify you when you're running around this shared desk with other people. Oh, that guy's wearing a Batman shirt. He must be a DC staffer. You know what I mean? So what happens is that Warner is telling the people at DC Comics, hey, this 3 floors of prime real estate, we're taking them back. We're moving you to this building over there instead, and you guys can hot desk it. That's pretty much a nice way of saying you are not important enough anymore for this real estate. You guys don't make enough money to justify this real estate. So instead, you guys should go to this this model that we can cancel our contract with them anytime soon, and then we can just say, every DC staffer, you guys work from home instead. We don't even need a hot desk anymore.
And for people, again, I want to reiterate the hot desk if you've never seen one. A lot of times you'll find them in your downtown areas. They're like people will reestablish or repurpose a building and real estate to be a hot desk where you basically pay a fee and you go in there and you set up and you do your work for the day from home. And you shut up your laptop and you go home and maybe you never show back up again. Maybe you show up next Thursday, whatever. This is especially in city areas, these things are quite common, and they're basically whoever pays for it, you get it. So this is, you have to understand, this is a big downgrade. Basically, who, I guess Discovery, the new owners of DC Comics, don't even think they're worth a closet space. They don't think they're worth a water cooler. They don't think they're worth a Xerox machine. What's to me interesting about this is the lack of investment in just office space means that they can quickly disregard DC Comics. Now, people are going to say, Shane, I've heard this argument. They're never going to get rid of comics. Comics are forever. Everybody loves Batman. And you're absolutely right. They do. But that doesn't mean that people like printing comic books, especially if you're a mega corporation and streaming is the future and all of these things. And maybe, just maybe, when you can only sell, we said this before, if you could only sell Batman and that's all you can sell, is it even necessary to have a DC Comics and staffers trying to sell a DC universe? If the only money out there is Batman, and there's a lot of Batman money, you can sell that any which way, any product, why have a DC Comics universe? People are going to say, oh, they're mining for copyright, they're doing this. Well, and we've said this before here on this channel, you can actually do that with just a few books being licensed to Penguin, Random House, maybe even go to like IDW or something like that and give them the DC Comics license and let them deal with this. And because they're still going to get, they're going to approve what they print. And there are companies like IDW who's, losing Transformers and losing G.I. Joe. Now, they did a horrible job with those two properties, but they need the work and that they have the infrastructure and whatever. And if you're a company and the only thing you really care is just to copyright staying alive, I don't know if these DC staffers, that maybe they need to dust off their resumes and keep them hot along with their hot desk, because that hot desk can get ripped out from up under them. Now, I am going to not shed too many tears for staffers not having a personalized desk, because as a comic book freelancer, drawing comics such as Superman, did some Spider-Man, Justice League, Batman, Superman Earth 1, things like that. I never had an office to work in. I worked from home. So for 20 some years, all the comics you see, never had a desk. Do DC Comics staffers need a nice office space? Absolutely not. But what was important about this type of office space, even when they were in New York, you probably hear, is whenever they're dealing with a company and they're trying to do license deals, like they do need a nice office space for these big cash deals, walking in, trying to make a deal for Batman to be on, say, like, I don't know, a snack pack or a book bag or something like that. Like DC Comics in New York City had one floor that you can still Google the images of it. The whole floor was painted like it was Gotham City. There was a water tower even behind the secretary desk. You go look it up. This is the type of presentation that they needed to make these big deals back then. Obviously, that type of money and that type of deals being pulled away from DC Comics and so far away from it that the publishing division has nothing to do with licensing these characters out into where the big money is. And I actually started off working in licensing at DC Comics, so I kind of understand this a little bit. Where is this going to go for DC Comics staffers? If I had to say, in my prediction for the year, DC Comics is going to be licensed out to another publisher. They're divesting. This is obviously a sign of divesting from DC Comics publishing. A lot of other YouTubers are probably going to disagree. They're going to say, that sounds like Comicsgate. That's this, that's that. It's like, but the writing's on the wall. Learn to read. That's where we're at right now.
May I make a prediction though? Maybe it won't be so dire. Maybe it won't happen at the end of the year. But I think one thing that's definitely going to happen is that, especially when you go down this road of, now everyone works from home instead of working in a nice office, or you work at a hot desk. Since you guys are not really having to commute anymore, let's just cut your pays,
Or maybe hire staffers from India. If people can work from home, I'll take it one step further. Why not hire people from third world countries that'll work for a lot lower wages? Like we see this with cybersecurity a lot of times. People are looking for employees in cybersecurity from India, tech support, India, different countries. with cheaper wages. So DC Comics, if they're at this stage, I mean, is it that far-fetched that they're just going to outsource to the you know, the country that has the, you know, that works for the least amount of money? You know, could we see that? I have no idea. Only time will tell. But I do want to recommend Inglorious Rex up funding right now. This is my second Indiegogo campaign, and it is rolling up, punching up on $248,000. I would love to see this hit 250 before we go to print. Working on pages now as we speak from my nice, comfy home. And I'll leave you guys with the trailer for Inglorious Rex. Please hit like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, and we will catch you guys again with another video.
Pardon me and my tone. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been, huh? I don't know where to begin, huh? All this dirt on my skin. I just came here to win. I'm more than a man, I'm a monster. Somebody call a pastor, doctor. I got a 6 sense for imposters, so now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game, why you playing with me? You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break the game. Can't control me. I got the power.